Dear fellow astronomy lovers, we are privileged to present in front of you Galanthus. We're students from the 11th grade from Bulgaria, and our project is an agricultural module, part of a settlement in space. Galanthus in Latin is also the name of the snowdrop flower, which is one of the earliest sprouting flowers back home and marks the beginning of spring. Thus, the objective of our project is to mark the early spring of plant cultivation in space. Our team spent many days working and designing every single part of it, all without the use of any artificial intelligence. We relied solely on our passion for space. After I found the project, it was easy to find a team of like-minded peers. Our settlement will orbit Titan. We decided on that because this moon has ice-covered crust and subsurface layer of ammonia-rich liquid water, which we'll use as primarily water and energy source. The structure will support 10,000 people and will consist of 4 agricultural modules.
Protecting our physical and mental health is among the main aspects of space travel. That is why we need to create Earth-like living conditions on the space station. Among those, gravity is very important. By spinning the station around the central axis, like shown in this video, we will be creating a centrifugal force to supplant the gravity. For our health, we also understand the importance of getting all necessary nutrients, especially ones related to bone growth. That is why, besides the multitude of tasty foods grown on the space station, we will be employing a lot of food supplements. Those food supplements will be mainly nutritional yeasts, like the ones used in producing beer. But we will also be using spirulina and pea protein powder, among others. The nutrients from the plants grown on the space station will also be used in the production of meat and yogurt. Besides for the obvious uses of creating food and oxygen for the space station, the 4 modules for creating agriculture will be used in creating medicine. We've all been taught that eating our veggies is important, and in space it might prove even more important, since by genetically modifying lettuce we can create the necessary medicaments that can only be ingested to feel the effects, and this method is both easy to use and very efficient. Now let's see how we will be producing the oxygen on the space station.
Let's begin at the root, literally with the plants. We separate them into 2 distinct groups, housed in different rooms. The groups are based on the similarity in the growth conditions, but more importantly, according to their roles in a 24-hour gas exchange cycle. Room 1 is our light zone, a controlled environment where plants receive 16 hours of artificial daylight and 8 hours of night. This schedule stimulates constant photosynthesis, meaning consistent oxygen production. Room 2 mirrors night conditions. In the absence of light, plants switch from photosynthesis to respiration, releasing carbon dioxide instead of oxygen. Now, here is the key. These 2 rooms are connected by a ventilation system, which is designed to mimic the natural diffusion of gases. Oxygen produced in the light room is circulated into the dark room, while the carbon dioxide generated during respiration flows back. This creates a continuous exchange, an artificial yet stable version of Earth's natural air cycle. But we are not stopping there. We've designed a central ventilation system, which branches out from the 2 rooms. It consists of 2 main tubes, one primarily carrying oxygen, the other carbon dioxide. Strategically placed along these pipes are the sodium peroxide filters. These act as our chemical backup. As carbon dioxide passes through, it reacts with the sodium peroxide to produce sodium carbonate and, crucially, oxygen. Simple, effective, and scalable. Once the filters are saturated, we collect the carbonate manually. From there, we apply thermal decomposition, breaking it down to carbon dioxide, oxygen, and sodium oxide. And here's where the loop closes. The sodium oxide is treated with hydrogen peroxide in a water-based environment. That regenerates the original sodium peroxide, and the cycle begins again.
Moving on to the food production compartment. we'll be using soil-free methods such as aeroponics, aquaponics, and hydroponics. What sets aquaponics apart is its sustainable approach, which combines fish farming and plant cultivation in a closed-loop system. We've also designed a balanced diet that provides all the needed nutrients for a life in space. This includes protein for muscle maintenance, healthy fats for energy, along with fiber and essential micronutrients from plant-based sources. We'll also consume foods like tofu, oatmeal, spinach, avocado, sweet potatoes, rice, and various other vegetables. A signature component to our menu is Bulgarian yogurt. Now, some of you might be wondering, what exactly makes it so special, and why are we going out of our way to make it, and out of all places in space? What makes Bulgarian yogurt so special is its high probiotic content, which aids human digestion, improves immunity, and overall gut health, which are all crucial aspects to a life in space. Now, how will we be making it? To start off, Bulgarian yogurt is made through the fermentation of milk by specific bacteria, one of which is distinct to the Bulgarian region, hence its name, Lactobacillus bulgaricus. In the early stages of our settlement, we'll be utilizing powdered milk and lyophilized bacteria. Later on, as production increases, small batches of yogurt will be used to replace the lyophilized cultures because the yogurt itself already contains bacteria naturally, while the powdered milk will be replaced with lab-grown milk, which will be produced in bioreactors to mimic animal-based milk, which provides lactose essential for the bacteria and the fermentation process. Now, enough about yogurt. We will now present to you a simple yet innovative system that we, as a team, were able to come up with.
What do you imagine can be made with quails, snails, and mushrooms? No, it's not a gourmet dish, it's actually a closed-loop recycling system for organic waste. And now, I'll share with you how we can make life in space more sustainable and less wasteful without constant resupplies from Earth. So let's start with the quails. They are small, efficient, and productive. In just 6 to 8 weeks, these little birds begin laying eggs rich in nutrients. They thrive on leftover plant material, turning food waste into protein-packed eggs. Next are the snails. We've selected species like the giant African land snail and Helix aspersa maxima because they don't need much light or oxygen. And now they clean up the leftover plant material. Then we have worms and fungi. Red wigglers, a type of earthworm, are experts at breaking down organic waste into humus, a nutrient-rich compost. Meanwhile, fungi like oyster mushrooms play a key role by breaking down through plant fibers, speeding up decomposition for the worms. Together, they turn waste into humus, a nutrient-rich soil ready to grow new food. After composting, we clean the humus to remove fungal spores, ensuring no contamination for the spacecraft systems. This rich compost then feeds our plants, completing a closed-loop life support system. So what's the big picture? Every part of this system works together to recycle waste into essential resources. It's efficient, sustainable, and proves that even the smallest organisms can play a huge role in space exploration. So the next time someone says composting isn't exciting, just tell them it's rocket science now.
As a team, we would like to express our overwhelming gratitude. Thank you for granting us the opportunity to grow without limits, to imagine with no restrictions, to work with no fear of failure. For what we've learned through completing this project is that being curious and daring to put effort into what may scare you at first is always rewarded, or in one way or another. Thank you for teaching us the pillar on which success and improvement stand on. And that's the question, what if? As we celebrate today, we're already thinking about tomorrow. This project isn't an ending, but a launch pad to an incredible beginning that is sure to bear fruit in the future. We've tasted what's possible when determination meets success, and we're hungry for more. We have but one message here for everyone today. Usually, it would just be to have the courage to follow your dreams. However, what better occasion to say the infamous per aspera ad astra, through hardships to the stars. In addition, if you have any questions, we will be more than willing to answer in the conference lobby. Thank you.